Inside Story Uganda, real source of political updates.
Ani yabagamba hey Mirundi mumusobola hey musobola bali abo mukyalo hey abambale empale z'emivumba. Human rights
Uganda.
Human rights is high on the agenda of the American police.
That's why you're seeing our police in Uganda.
Are you more informed than the president? You would resign. What type of person are you? You see these people are arrogant. When you came to serve the president, you were stupid.
But he has been informed.
You want to say we are tendering in our resignation is pave way for Museveni.
Who has been using them?
Nti natunulia Bobi Wine mutegera nti za American sponsor.
Bobi Wine muntu. Bobi Wine yajja kulwa abantu. Era is sponsored by abantu bana Uganda. Abaye bizunga president yayogedde.
Compare Bobi Wine and the following. It's amazing to understand that the voters are changing. Let us start with our neighbors in Kenya. When Uhuru Kenyatta stood for the first time as president, he was dismissed as a drunkard who spent most of his time in a bus. Kenyans also accused him of being a political novice, whose hands had never touched a handy hoe, owing to his snobbish upbringing. His pictures in all media institutions always bore reddish eyes. However, President Moi had earlier appointed him as a powerful minister of local government and the vice chairperson of KANU. This same young man, who was earlier despised as a drunkard, was appointed by President Mwai Kibaki as Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, a job he performed well, and later elected the President of Kenya, despite the noose around his neck, which was imposed by the International Criminal Court. I can actually state here that his service in the first 5 years as President has been impressive. Bamuleta muyeli many politics of America. Kenyans know the politics of the Americans. Bali babaddeko nabo. Nga baba bana docking in Mombasa, American Marines, bamalaya baba as far as Central Africa. Uhuru Kenyatta was dismissed. You dismiss me as a drunkard. You dismiss me. You dismiss this Bobi Wine. A band of hooligans. Never vuma, never college, never college. Never got you people use 17. This man is dangerous. Nkugamba. Let us look at the conduct of Tanzania's previous president vis-a-vis the incumbent John Pombe Magufuli. Magufuli has proved to be much more popular than anyone except Julius Nyerere. This is so because he abandoned the traditional way of handling national issues. I'm sure Tanzanians will hand him a second term in office. Techaliwo. Pombe kitegezaje. Pombe is a Swahili word meaning beer. Why was he nicknamed the Pombe? Pombe Magufuli. Pombe. Lwaki bamutuma Pombe?
Tetumanyi tunyenya.
Ayinza kuba yanywanga nnyo omwenge, ayinza kubanga yali mutamiivu. The first person to try to overthrow the Ugandan government during Rugati's time was a Catholic like me who never attended the church service. Was accused of being a drunkard. It was a big government. That man is a, don't underrate him. He's a duplicate of Museveni. I don't want I'm sure in the Philippines, voters elected Joseph Swada, who was a known gambler, matatu player. Philippine voters defied the police from the then powerful Manila, Cardinal Sin, who opposed his election. Cardinal Sin apoyona bagandi mugambula. This is a gambula mukubi wa matatu Joseph Etwada nibanga zaye gandula za mu church. He fought to Marcos. He fought to Lamos defeated him. Even Eswad defeated him. Why? Bamugandi gundi tuveko. ffe twagala musajja wa ttatu ye Bobi Wine yennyini bafumaani bagwaba sentence ne bampa yadde 10 bagenda wa president n'abagamba ne bamugamba ti Mirundi your son has crossed the red line. He is supporting Bobi Wine. Museveni n'abagamba you know him. Mirundi cannot support Bobi Wine. He is one of the best philosophers we have in this country. Ne bagenda ne bamugamba nti ebyuma bituufu ne bakomawo ne bakwata ku video. Even the body language Museveni was showing us that is his man. Kakati ne babuuza ngamba laba gwedde. How did Museveni choose a drunkard and a madman to do this role? N'atabibwa ba intelligent. Bali bagamba abiwe kandeho. Kakati Professor n'abagamba. Do you know why Museveni likes that man? He is a flamboyant who cannot be compromised. Ngamba laba liko dizinzina ne video. Kati mu mwaka bono omusajja nze ngenda mulabye edda. This man is dangerous. He fits in the American police. Nkugamba. Having suffered under drug balloons, high levels of criminality, and living under a government dodged with inefficiency and corruption, the Filipinos voted for a president who solved the big problems that had eluded his predecessors.
Just the
doesn't it dawn on Rwamirama? Does it embarrass you, Rwamirama, to have a quarantine of 10 years? Quarantine. Is suffering a quarantine for and here you have quarantine. Are you saying about the by net better? Nentezam 7 Nizifa under a government that is controlled by cattle keepers. Quarantine in Aramera, Amariba Negape, and Yamanebera Mufaradon. Are you serious people?
Even America
is studying the wickedness to ballet a doctor, to ballet a professor, ballet to run over to Muyai.
Watch government. I tell you,
Yabamaze, but when Yabamaze, Yabata demo, Moraini America,
Okiriza Yabamaze.
Anti Omuribo Guawid.
At a good number of
Yawid, Kogami, Katemurwana, Nabu, and Mulwana, and America. And if we don't institute a local tribunal, all of these people the president is mentioning will have their way. We should prepare for Hague. I'm telling you. If Museveni does not organize a local tribunal, because these are what the president says, we call them conclusive statements. If these people have been violating human rights, and now, should they remain there? And now,
Nimze Tamale. Human rights is the banga. Angazidi violate your
Uganda.
Which much take the Buluni, watch out by Kati. In fact, Mother Nanga, what to Buniziwa. Muchanga Jambu Kulembezi. Abakazi Batiwa. Come in your very more name.
Kugan.
I'm not about to Buniz. Watch out by Kati.
What did I want?
No, so watch out by Kati.
Kugamba. Having suffered under drug balloons, high levels of criminality, and living under government dodged with inefficiency and corruption, the Filipinos voted for a president who would solve big problems that had eluded his predecessors. What about India? Upon his election, India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi introduced Sharia law and carried out public computations on the corrupt officials in Gujarati. This man started in Gujarati. Oyo Prime Minister wa India, Silimu Silam. He eliminated the corruption in Gujarati. That's why he was brought to death. He defeated and entrenched the Congolese system. Abantu bakowa babikozi nangazi. Abantu bakowa Professor Rule. Abantu bakowa binaisa chusi. Abantu baka no. Tweta agomuntu anakuba sasa mulini. Akubamu bya dukesiri ayinkwaya.
Mzee Bobi Wine yoga nagaba singa president abanda akole ngabyo yoga. Yandi zina kwesi bobi kulembeze.
In a grisly incident njogera ku ono musajja w'India.
Yeah.
Muslim youth raped a Hindu girl on a passenger train before murdering her. Modi led a revenge mission that left over 300 Muslim youths dead, an action that attracted backlash from world leaders, including UK and the US. However, when he defeated the powerful and entrenched Congress party, the same leaders, the Americans, the British, the French, were the first to send ambassadors to deliver congratulations messages. Modi is poised for another landslide victory in India. It happened. You call me Mulevi, call me Mupumbafu, call me Mushez, call me akili yangu na akili sana.
Okay.
Akili yangu na akili sana. Akili yangu na akili sana. Mimi nataka pesa. Mimi nataka pesa, sitaki kazi, sitaki kuzungumza, sitaki kusalimiana, sitaki nyimbo. Mimi nataka kitu moja.
Pesa.
Mimi nataka pesa. Mimi nataka pesa.
Kale tukomeonga tuvude ku pesa tukomeo.
Rafiki.
Mzee Tamale.
Mimi nataka pesa.
Bakuwidi. Njaja tude ku.
Kati okitegedde. Kati nakawadi kadi.
217.
Kakati ate soko olabe.
Mzee obutabo butu.
Okalaba kana akabobi wine. Kano kapya ate.
The rise and making.
Nababulira. Tibobi wine agenda baba tula lwaje. Nabaga nti the rise and making of Kyagulanyi. Bobi Wine and the story of Kasoveza. Nabaga Bobi Wine wa mu nyumba ya Museveni nyinyi. Bamuwaga ba Museveni.
Orugambye besi yali wo.
Byombi yali abiyina.
Besi yali wo mu nyumba
gutugambye. Ti Bobi Wine yali wa munju.
Kali Mzee Tamale.
Nga ina n'Abamerika.
Lwaki
Uganda.
Lwaki Bobi Wine yawangula yawa Central Region. Why Bobi Wine has survived? Lwaki Bobi Wine yatuuka ku ballot? Bobi Wine lwaki yawangula mu Buganda? Issues ziri ndo beza kuwanguza.
Zindi kugambye nti Abamerika ba strategists.
Sokuve ku America. Gachali wane waka Mzee Tamale.
Undi njakugoba bwana.
Gachali wane waka.
Yakugoba njogerenze
ka.
Holiday.
Gachali waka.
I've told you. Nti if you want to have a successful revolution, bring somebody who can influence the center. You would ask me, why did they choose a person from West Nile? No. Even if you start a good West Bank front, you needed somebody here. If you want to start a revolution, did Museveni go to Ntunga, his birthplace? Did he go to Gondi? Museveni went to Luweero, 45 miles from Kampala. Yes. In Luweero, he could cut off. That's why we call it a triangle. In Luweero, Museveni could decide to cut off Gundi oluguudo lw'Ejjinja from Luweero. Yali asobola okusiba oluguudo lw'e Masaka from Luweero. Yali asobola okuparalalizinga ekibuga kyonna, country yonna from Luweero.
Yayina reasons ezamutwala mu Luweero.
Nabano
zezirudda wa Mzee Tamale.
Ezatwala
Museveni mu nsiko.
Akatabo kange weekali.
Zezirudda wa.
Kati nkugamba nti but Abamerika, what the fail to understand, nkugamba nti Abamerika basooka ne baleeta Cold War nga Saddam Hussein waabwe balina okuneutralizinga Iraq. In fact, when they defeated Iraq, Saudi Arabia became useless. Who is buying the Saudi oil? It's China, not Americans. Americans are returning to the green energy. Bobo was buying a strategic Nabamerika Mirundi, Ababala. We don't need to die in Afghanistan. Allow these people to form a state. Once they form a state, they will be governed by state rules. Do you think the Americans that defeated the Taliban almost 20 years ago are weaker now? Are weaker now?
No.
Yes. But they move so, that is the ground. Once you understand this, that this man fits in the above mentioned. This man fits in the American strategy. Omuwala yasuula Bashiri amutwala wa. Omuwala yasuula Bashiri amutwala kakati ehege muwala. How can a woman in the Islamic country eyebise n'okwebika ignite revolution? How could this man dismiss drunkard in Kenya? How could he outsmart the entrenched politicians in Kenya nafuga eggwanga
you undermining reasons why Bobi Wine yasituka n'abantu basoboka nti bino bino by'okyogera okutulugunya abantu safe houses
Zuma abadde alwana n'ono gundi ono omuvubuka gwalwana naye bamuyitaano is he different from Bobi Wine? Zuma is in the prison. Abazulu ne bakola ekyobusiru ate Abaganda temunnakikolako nti Abazulu bajja kudemonstrate nga kubba bintu nebakuba amasasi baali bakomyewo malima taliyo malima different from Bobi Wine. Malima different from Bobi Wine.
Very different.
Wabako bintu wana Uganda. Anti alibwa bonna beba mu. Malima when these people are fighting for apartheid, did Malima fight? If this man did he do you see a fighter ni Bobi Wine is did they contribute even Kasava Mulwero unabatawanya Bobi Wine sibya kiri kimu nkugambye nti when I looked at Bobi Wine in 2017 nga bahandiko tebamulaba bakatabazi tebamulaba mu Yesu abantu bonna tebamulaba I said this man fits in the American policy ajabata wange
nange kingamba kiriwo ekiti nti wadafitinga mu policy eri they are on making okutulugunya abantu okubeta kakola biki kiyamba ko bweno kubantu asika
ngabesige byamulema you defeat yourself
kama ino gambi yali wabwe
yes
you said yali wa besi yali wawe nga azanya nabo
simugere ngabyamulema
anje azanya nabo besi yali azanya nabo
kubolira nti America yetusiza embera Bobi Wine yajidde mu mbeera nga America esosowaza human rights
Bobi Wine yajidde mu mbeera nga banaganda balabuse that is it no banaganda balabuse
na fitting mu yo
banaganda balabuse
intelligence ya Museveni neta mubolira nti negundi nti ono omusajja Amsterdam she is not a lawyer wait ngankusomere nebo tunabera ku program emu yokka
yes njate tukusensonge
let me tell you why Bobi Wine has survived nakugamba ngubudde why base ya survive Bobi Wine ya surviving
base ya surviving kubanga wawe
okugamba the title of my book Kasoveza is derived from a concept that a thief within the house is not easy to apprehend. In fact, the Baganda say Kasoveza ng'omubbi wa waka, which can be loosely translated as a thief operating within the house or a part of the members of that family. Is not easy to catch. This is true because every time things are stolen, family members will suspect a foreign hand. If it is the work of an insider, he or she would be aware of the plans the family proposes to catch the thief and therefore avoids being trapped. Many institutions, including governments, follow prey to morals and traitors. Bobi Wine fits into this category. In my book, The State House Curse, I pointed out numerous examples that can ably explain the current problem in the government. For quite a long time, nkugamba Bobi Wine yali wa munju.
Mzee Tamale yali wa America ate wa munju
Bobi Wine came to me nambuulira nti people in the government are trying to use me.
Those are allegations.
Anti mubuuzi kana mpayira omufu naye nkugamba nti gundi yajja wano ani ne bebikulu came to me naye nkugamba nti n'enyanzi came to me trying to see Museveni. I was frustrated na lesi kimanyi nti benwana nabo bamunda kakati nenkugamba nti Bobi Wine bamukozesa ab'omunda bamuleete kakati Bobi Wine bwe bamuleeta ono omusajja n'amubabbako bo tebategeera like me nti this Bobi Wine fits nkugamba how Bobi Wine has outsmarted in the state akatabo ogambye kali ka
2017 kano kaddi bili December
twali twalonze osali by Tamale Mirundi ati Kabalagala. I have a house in Kabalagala.
sawa mwenda kitundu
Saturday 10th December
yes 2020 tunaba kulonda.
I like other people who have been used and dumped by the mafia gang. It seems Bobi Wine had a lasting relationship with the gang. Bobi Wine yali abamanyi. Bobi Wine yali amanyi Kayihura. Bobi Wine yali amanyi Tumukunde. when Bobi Wine stood, minister yagende wa mukyala Njubu ne kutiya za ssente ng'abawa emitwalo 5 gande vote Bobi Wine.
Tamale.
Anti ebifaananyi mbirimu.
Singa wazze nabyo ne tubiraga nayo kuba nnansi.
I'm telling you.
Kubanga
nali manyi Bobi Wine.
Tuli ku allegations zikasawazi.
Bobi Wine yeegaana oba abantu beegaana ab'ekitundu ekyo tetewaliwo minisita yali agaba ssente tegande vote Bobi Wine.
Bobi Wine making ya government yennyini.
Yes. Bobi Wine zaake.
Zaake
zaake.
Emitiana?
Ekibagatta temukimanyi.
Ki ekibagatta?
With the security elements. Right mention it.
Zaake atulugunyizibwa ku bidwa buli kaseera ate kugamba nti balina ekibagatta ne security.
Gomanyi security bwekola. Bwe kimanga Lumbu yali mu Uganda. Omanyi yamuleese.
Miso eyinza etuwe ku
miso emanyi. Lwakiza akaaba nnyo. Yakolera ki Lumbu? Nabagamba nti Museveni throws a corpse. The cannibals come and dance around the corpse. Why is Lumbu a member one no? If Lumbu is here, I can tell you who brought Lumbu.
Mutuganga.
No put mugizanyiraku. No pichikono ky'abantu. Nagamba omwana wange n'agamba until we realized. Nenzina amazina mu ddeero lyange.
Bado ne kesi yazeemu okustuka eyawananyiwa no.
Let me tell you.
Kibalama naye agamba nti ayagala kintu.
If Lumbu has brought here, omunyankola agamba nti embuzi yange lwefu empisi yakuno lwefulumya obuso bulimu obwoya bw'endiga. How come that Zaake gets a favorable judgment from court when Lumbu years whereabouts are not known? Ask Miso. Nkugamba. This is why nakugamba nti Bobi Wine si mupya mu bo. And I know the reason why.
Bobi Wine yalinga mukono gwa Kayihura yamukozesako mu kuyimba kujja bavubuka mu bintu byenjagala biki. Ate si modemu na Uganda. Wadde ngabero kuva mu manyi. Kyo si kipya.
Ekyo kyali kiwa. Ekiwani enyimba zo zimanyi. Bobi Wine was selected to start for the president because of the revolutionary songs. They went to radio was murdered.
When did he begin? Kumata yimbe nyimbe ezikwata ku munasi.
Kugendo zinonye nti yali waawo. He was also hired by the police to help them okujja bivuka mu njaka.
Mzee Tamale, tetuna position mu ggwanga Uganda. Tetuna opposition.
Kale ngugamba. This
no Mzee Tamale, do you have a position mu
ggwanga? Bobi Wine was a part of this group. This is why has outsmarted them. Secondly, Bobi Wine is a chameleon which changes colors according to the environment. For example, when he was identified and watered and nurtured, he was not excited. He seemed to be waiting for an opportunity, an appropriate time. Even when the government slapped a ban on his concerts, he did not overreact because this would present him to the public as a victim. As Museveni banned Bobi Wine colors, the same people in his government were compensating Bobi Wine. The money. That's why Bobi Wine was able to cool it. And in fact, Museveni was turning Bobi Wine into a victim. In politics, if you wanted to outsmart your enemies, become a victim. That's why Ruto akwata kutama bwati nga bamuganye ogenda. There's Ruto incite his supporters. How can a deputy president agende Mombasa ne bagalawo State House? Does he incite his supporters to force him inside? Have you seen him? He only calls his why? He's a victim. They're turning him into a victim by closing his garage. When Bobi Wine was being compensated by the same people in his government, Museveni was turning himself, was turning this man into a victim. For example, Nkugamba, I've been arguing that harassing and mistreating Bobi Wine was a grave mistake on the part of government. Government actually reaped unexpected results. It's a government that presented Bobi Wine with an opportunity to earn public sympathy as a victim. Secondly, when the government wanted to kill his music career, the public resorted to disassociating with other musicians affiliated to government. Bakusasira baba kubenkali mukojo kwenda na kabina kwako kwenda na kabina kako babugana Bobi Wine okuyimba abantu ne bagana bano okuyimba bakusasa balyandi. All of the musicians and artists who attacked Bobi Wine in any way were isolated. Who attacked
Bobi Wine
in any way were isolated by the public. They were further punished by God by the COVID-19 pandemic, which also forced their music concert to stop. Have you seen Bobi Wine kneeling before? Good?
Salim, no. Now,
yes. Chameleon, nothing wants dingy. Go wagging. Not to come send the abantu to tear gas. You know, I can akakwata, the Kagana Mutepi, and Chanakataka office, and we have a mayor. The Kadawa, Kaka the wagon, Kakakola Goon, to Monga now. Do you see this man? This man is like me. I would rate before anybody. But I'm not sponsored by I'm not related to any intelligence organization, foreign organization.
Even Bobi Wine. This
is why I've helped these Ugandan doctors because I cannot give these Europeans evidence. They are relying on me. I cannot betray Uganda. Yes.
Uganda bati
minataka pesa
umwana
wange bamuta
kati gwegala mu sente mu bana Uganda
basa compensation yange bamfiri but political career ya
muzate bana Uganda bafa.
We have declared the ceasefire. I'm seeing them bending. I'm giving them time to bend. I know they are going to
but bana Uganda bafa ila gwegala mu sente mulamu
kwabo to fight kugamba. Bobi Wine must have known that sharp divisions in the mafia fellowship. When which we nature being a mafia fellowship. At one time it had 60 members. It was only Muhozi, the first lady, and the president who were not members. But never achieved fellowship, but never achieved. Yes, so the Kati is separating from the fellowship. They now have a project. And this is why, Mbaburi, the you Westerners, you have a problem. The special forces were infiltrated by American agents. This is how the army became a target of Kuba. They were targeting him. Many people think that I've never talked to Muhozi. I'm telling you.
Oli timu Muhozi.
Nakugamba tibwabaawo abantu babiri. In the politics temova mbuzi ndawo.
Wagito mtigota manyi.
Yes.
How do you support him?
I'm telling you.
And how do you support him?
Muhozi. He doesn't know me. He knows me, but he have never talked to me. He only intervened kulagira tumwebaze nti allow this man to get his salary. Atukolera. Nitumukundi yabaga nti omusajja but he supports Museveni. Yes, by consolidating Museveni is helping you. Kakati nkuga nti the strategy nze nina meeting yaabwe ku video where they told lies to the president. Nebakomani bagamba balimba Museveni nti Bobi Wine's people are going to ban Kampala. Nebaga let us finish this matter. Nebaleta special forces nebagiteekamu abantu baabwe. You are paying for your money.
Kwensonga oli mutuufu.
Aba Western, you are paying for your money. Do you know, Kankuboli? Do you remember that at one time Kayihura was dragged to back in the court bw'omponananga individual?
Yes.
Chita tasiya muonya na nebakuba efujo ngundi lukwago ne bamunyigana egundi nga bagenze babeyambisa balukwago. Besi you wanted to defeat Kayihura. Nembabuuza, are you charging Kayihura as an individual? Did he kill people to protect his farm?
Ne police yagambika.
Nayo kimanyi tino omulamuzi yafa. The Mulamuzi who wanted, who was used by the mafias to embarrass Kayihura is dead. He's a Mugisu man. N'abaana be tebabalabikira.
Kale kalugenda ko mukumala genda ko dda katono nnyo tova ko Steve ko
Marisi ya muyeba bonya kati Marisi ebatusiza mu mikono gy'aba